CTV News at 5 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks so much for being with us on this Tuesday. A collision between a passenger vehicle and a commercial vehicle has claimed a life on Highway 17 near Sault Ste. Marie. Around 8 this morning, Algoma OPP were called to the scene near Gordon Lake Road on Highway 17 in Johnson Township. The driver of the passenger vehicle, a person from British Columbia, was pronounced dead at the scene. The passenger in the commercial vehicle sustained minor injuries. The highway is closed until police have completed their investigation. A detour is available for motorists in the area. Well, what turned out to be a fairly sunny day has turned into cloudy skies. Is rain on the way? For more details, let's bring in CTV's Rick Wyman. Rick.
Oh, it's a-coming, Tony. As we said yesterday, rain late this afternoon, early this evening, 10 to 15 millimeters in Sault Ste. Marie, Sudbury, Gore Bay, and Parry Sound. Got to memorize that stuff. Systems map, courtesy of Environment Canada. All brought to you by CAA. Get your membership today at caa.ca. You can see that system moving in. I don't like it, neither do you, but we have to have some rain in our forecast because it is dry in some sectors. Let's not get too concerned. We'll have some details coming up on the 5-day forecast, Tony.
Thanks, Rick. Provincial funds are coming to advance the soon-to-be-complete Georgia Pacific upgrades at the wood processing mill in Englehart. Last year, the company announced a close to $200 million upgrade and expansion at its oriented strand board plant. CTV's Eric Tashner has more.
Positioning the sector for that growth.
A show of confidence in the future of the oriented strand board mill in Englehart.
Early construction is now underway.
After Georgia Pacific announced last summer it's spending $191 million to upgrade and modernize the mill, the Ontario government is throwing its support behind the project with $10 million of its own.
We will help the sector adapt to changing global conditions, and we will grow investment markets and demand for Ontario wood.
The mill produced its first board in 1983, and since then it has gone through little to no upgrades over the course of its over 40-year history. In 2010, the mill was acquired by Georgia Pacific, who chose to modernize the facility.
In a highly competitive global market, efficiency is only part of the equation. Productivity is what keeps our doors open and our people working.
Estimated to increase production by 14%, the ongoing upgrades surround what's called the Green End, a new 70,000 square foot facility. It's the part of the mill where logs are processed for cutting and turned into oriented strand boards, a key component in new home construction.
We are transforming how we manage our wood fiber right from the start.
A third of the mill will be upgraded with new technology, and it will protect more than 220 direct jobs and hundreds of other indirect jobs within the surrounding area.
Forestry has always been a major part of life in Englehart and supports truck drivers, contractors, equipment operators, mechanics, local business and retailers.
The mill is considered Georgia Pacific's flagship facility and is responsible for more than 25% of its overall production. The company will also acquire a thermal energy system to use wood byproducts for heat and power, supporting sustainable forest management by maximizing fiber value.
This partnership is a game changer for us.
The expansion should be complete in early fall 2027. Eric Tashner, CTV News, Earlton.
Tourism in Sudbury and surrounding regions got a big boost today. $1.6 million from the federal government is going to support 6 tourism initiatives. CTV's Alan Everson tells us more.
The Wanapitei First Nation used the federal investment of over $200,000 to upgrade its powwow grounds.
Place where we come and celebrate our culture. Our powwow every year is in the third weekend of August, so this year it'll be August 15th, 16th, so anybody who wants to come out, you're invited to come out.
Sudbury MP announced the $1.6 million federal investment to strengthen and grow tourism in the region.
Tourism brings a lot of money into our economy. It brings tourists. They stay in our hotels, eat in our restaurants. It creates employment for us. So it's a very important component of our economy here.
6 projects received funding, including Kiwi Park, to hire an intern to further tourism.
Right now, our tourism is about 20% of our past sales. sales, so a lot of day pass sales, but we're growing from, I think we started out at about 6% to now about 20% of our passes are from outside of the P postal code.
Walden Cross Country received $80,000 to purchase a large trail groomer to boost opportunities to host large-scale events.
Our last one was the OYC, which was held in late February 2026, and that brought 356 people from outside of Northern Ontario.
The Temagami Outpost received over $50,000 to modernize and become an all-season resort.
So we're an off-grid outfitter and lodge in the Chiniguchi waterways, and right now we're mainly 3-season, and we're trying to really break out those shoulder seasons and have more guests in the area.
The Whitefish River First Nation received almost $280,000 for waterfront development. Killarney received over $900,000 to improve its municipal wharf, to allow for the safe docking of cruise vessels, and add more decking for a vendor's market and entertainment. Alana Everson, CTV News, Wanapitei First Nation.
It's time for a quick break. Coming up on CTV News at 5, Rick has your full weather forecast. Right now, though, we're heading to Gillies Lake in Timmins. This live webcam is courtesy of the city. It's 13 degrees. We're back in just a few minutes.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
I know you're expecting the Habs jersey for tonight, but that's on hold. It's 2-1 series lead. We'll see what happens tonight in Montreal. Go Habs. Forecast radar. We've got some forecasted rain in our forecast. Forecast rain. Precipitation, some of those amounts we'll get to momentarily overnight and continuing in tomorrow, 10 to 15 millimeters, in some cases 5 to 10. So we'll run down the amounts and then we'll get a bit of a break in just a couple of days. Some warmer temperatures. Sudbury, Nickel Belt, here we go. Periods of rain. So 10 to 15 millimeters of rain overnight, 7 degrees your high tomorrow, 16 Thursday, sun and cloud Friday, 17. I told you it was going to warm up. Chance of showers on Saturday, 19, and 19 on Sunday with the sun and cloud. Meanwhile, in Sault Ste. Marie, 10 to 15 millimeters of rain for overnight. Chance of showers tomorrow at 9, 15 Thursday with sunshine. Friday, chance of showers. Saturday, chance of showers, both days at 15, and 16 Sunday, sun and a cloud. Meanwhile, Timmins dodging the big rain bullet right now. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, chance of showers at 12 for tomorrow. Thursday, 16, 17 Friday, chance of showers. More of the same on Saturday and Sunday. Glorious sunshine, 16 degrees. Moving on over to Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake. As I look at the schedule right now, we've got 5 to 10 centimeters overnight and 5 centimeters or millimeters for tomorrow. Millimeters, centimeters with snow. Periods of rain tomorrow, 7, 16 Thursday, sun and cloud. Friday, sun and cloud, 17. Chance of showers Saturday at 19, 18 on Sunday with some sun and some cloud. How about North Bay? Periods of rain for tomorrow at 8. You're going to get about 5 to 10 millimeters of rain overnight, another 5 tomorrow. Thursday, cloud cover 16, 17 Friday, sun and cloud. Chance of showers on Saturday at 19 and 19 Sunday, sun and cloud. Don't forget Gore Bay, 10 to 15 millimeters of rain as well in the forecast. And for Parry Sound, at 10 to 15 overnight and 5 to 10 for tomorrow. So lots of precipitation in our forecast. Got to keep abreast of what's happening with the scorecard. So again, precipitation right across the Northeast, maybe with the exception of Timmins. We'll keep a close eye on that. But again, we just ran through the amounts, and it's going to be one of those nights overnight and continuing into the day. Lots of precipitation. But what else is new? We've experienced that over the course of the past couple of weeks. Tony, back to you.
Thanks so much for that, Rick. Well, provincial police in West Nipissing say a bomb threat at an elementary school was not real. An anonymous threat was made yesterday afternoon as the school day was ending. Most students had already left the building, but it was evacuated. No explosive devices or threats were located during a search of the school. You can read more on this story by going to our website, ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca. At the annual Phenom conference in Timmins this week, municipal leaders heard Northern Ontario is short nearly 460 physicians. Nawsum University says municipalities can play a key role in helping to attract doctors to the region. CTV's Lydia Chubak reports.
The President, Vice Chancellor, Dean and CEO of the Northern Ontario School of Medicine addressed municipal officials during Day 2 of the annual Phenom Conference. In Nawsum University's 20-year history, Dr. Michael Green says 1,041 students have graduated and about half have stayed to work in the North. But Green says the North is still short 459 physicians.
That's about 25%, or 1 in 4 of the full-time equivalent positions that we estimate are needed in Northern Ontario to provide care. And the gap is about evenly split between family doctors and specialists in other specialties. But the family doctor shortage is not evenly distributed, so there's a bigger need for rural generalist family doctors than in the larger centres.
We'll still have the same problems.
One municipal councillor from Kirkland Lake, Lad Shaba, says he had hoped Nawsum University would help solve the doctor shortage, but believes his town is no better off than it was 45 years ago.
If they're interested in a specialty that we don't offer training in the North, then they're more likely to go away. They may just want to change. You know, they're often people still, young people just finishing their training. They may want to try something else.
Rick Dumas, the mayor of Marathon and president of the Northwestern Ontario Municipal Association, asked what communities without the money to hire their own physician recruiter can do.
I know there's a lot of talk around financial incentives. I don't think those are the best route or the main driver. Things like helping the spouse to get employment, making sure that there's activities and things for their children to do when they're there, and for the physicians themselves to have a good work-life balance and be able to feel like they're a part of the community. So I think communities have a large role. Those are the things that make people want to stay in the long run.
Ontario is also expanding the number of medical school seats. Within the next 2 years, Nawsum University will nearly double its current intake, including some specialties. Green says it takes between 6 and 10 years to train a physician, meaning communities may not see improvements right away. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Schumacher.
Canadore College in North Bay has announced its restructuring plan because of low enrollment and financial pressures. And as CTV's Madison Merrier tells us, the move will impact its West Parry Sound campus.
Canadore College shared they are winding down the West Parry Sound campus.
Certainly creates a bit of a dilemma as to how, we're going to move ahead. Now, one of the things is we have a little bit of time because they still have to run their programs for about another year to get those that are in the system through their courses so they can graduate.
In a release, the college says staff have been offered a voluntary departure incentive program.
It was offered in what we thought was good faith to all faculty, and the incentive itself was prorated based on the number of years of service, and a number of faculty did apply, and to our knowledge, none were accepted.
Faculty at the West Parry Sound campus are contract employees and not part of the incentive, and it is unclear at this time if support staff have had their requests approved. Canadore College told CTV News they are not providing further comments at this time. However, in a press release, they say, in part, Canadore continues to face the impacts of lower enrollment and increased financial pressures.
They're having to cut back. So, and I can certainly see, from what the president told me this morning, that they're facing a financial challenge.
In a statement to CTV News, MPP Graydon Smith says repeated changes by the federal government to the international student permit system have created significant instability and uncertainty across Canada's post-secondary sector. Just over a week ago, the provincial government invested $44.4 million into Canadore College over the next 4 years, part of a $6.4 billion investment into the province's post-secondary institutions. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
It would harness the power of nature. Coming up on CTV News at 5. Some in a community west of Sudbury are concerned about a solar panel project. Welcome back. You're watching CTV News at 5. I'm Tony Ryma. Let's go west of Sudbury now, where there continues to be division in the township of Sable's Spanish Rivers over a proposed solar panel project. Some residents say the municipal council isn't protecting agricultural land. We get an update now from CTV's Angela Gemmell.
Nothing will be planted here this spring. This is where a solar panel project is to be built in the coming years, a project that's still generating concerns.
This is the first project of its kind, and this is a 4-year span where these projects are going to be coming up. So how much of our agricultural land will be taken away over that time?
Sable Spanish Rivers Township Council approved the 150 megawatt solar facility by Potentia Renewables. The company recently secured a contract with the independent system electricity operator and has leased this 600-acre property about 12 kilometers outside of Massey. Some residents have environmental concerns since a freshwater cold spring is just meters away.
The township is the one that should say we're protecting the farmland.
This farmer says the municipality isn't adhering to its own land use plans and fears the solar facility will continue to eat up farmland.
What'll happen is they'll say, yes, we have this done in these 2 areas. Well, now that you've said yes to that, how about this area, this farm? And that's not in line with what the township says there in their land use plan. It says they'll protect land class 3, and they're not doing that.
The farmer who's leased the fields over the past 4 years did not want to appear on camera, but told CTV News he had wanted to expand his operations, but can't do that now. A statement from the company says, in part, Potentia takes all concerns raised by the public seriously and values the relationship we have with our host communities. Potentia says it's planning the first of 2 public meetings for this August, with informal drop-in sessions in the coming months to answer questions. The project has a targeted operational date of November 2029. Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Massey.
The Inner City Food Bank in New Sudbury has reopened. The location was closed late last month due to flooding and has remained closed as repairs from the water damage were made. The D'Angelo family, who own the building used by Inner City, paid for the repairs to help it focus on those in need. The food bank, in a social media post, thanked everyone who helped it during and after the flood. It was a busy night in playoff hockey. The Montreal Victoire are in a winner-take-all Game 5 tonight after their tilt against 2-time champions, the Minnesota Frost, was postponed yesterday. The winner will move on to the Walter Cup Finals against the Ottawa Charge. Puck drop is 7 p.m. in Laval. Meanwhile, the Montreal Canadiens will host the Buffalo Sabres for Game 4 in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Montreal leads the series 2-1. That game is also a 7 o'clock start at the Bell Centre. And still with hockey, the Sudbury Cubs are officially out of Centennial Cup contention. The NOJHL champs put up a good fight this afternoon, but fell to Collège Français de Longueuil 3-1. They end the tournament with a record of 1-3. So wait until you see her when we return our Take Me Home Tuesday segment. You're watching First at 5.
This is the Game of Thrones edition of Take Me Home Tuesday for this week. Of course, Emma Bailey from the Sudbury SPCA will explain the meaning of that opening sentence for tonight. We have Circe in the house, and I just love the way that you come up with names for the pets that have to be adopted. And of course, a lot of people out there watching tonight love Game of Thrones.
Absolutely. So we had 5 girls come in and we named them all after Game of Thrones. Hi, baby. Oh, thank you. This is Circe. We also have Sansa, and Ygritte was adopted this morning. So you can find your wonderful Game of Thrones puppies at our center. They're all girls. They're 3 months old and shepherd mixes and looking for their forever homes.
She's pretty quiet. I'm kind of surprised for a 3-month-old pup.
They do pretty good when they're being held, but once I put them down, they're very active and rambunctious. They want to play and be all over the place. We're being a little shy today, but once they're out and about, they really show off their energy. So we're always looking for people who are ready to have a puppy in the home. They're ready for all that energy and the training that'll come with it. And yeah, we're just looking for their forever homes. They come fully, they have their spay and neuter appointments this weekend. They come home vaccinated, microchipped, and with Royal Canin pet food as well to help you out.
And she's very affectionate, by the way, in case you haven't noticed. So the adoptions have been going really well of late, including, like last week, we didn't have a pet of the week, but again, we're talking more adoptions week after week, and you're quite busy.
Yes, it's been great. The more adoptions we have, the more animals we can bring in. So we were able to bring in these 5 pups. We had Rico the Chihuahua who went home. We had Flynn, he was a Cocker Spaniel. He went home this week. It's just been nonstop. We actually had our first responders come in this week to help us with the promotion, and it was just a wonderful week of adoptions.
Well, I've been called Rico, but really I've never been called a Chihuahua. Emma, thanks for dropping by. Circe, best of luck. And again, give the SPCA a call, and Emma or one of the many great people over at the SPCA will be more than happy to help you possibly have Circe adopted this week. We're back with more in 7 days.
Our first community close-up comes to us from the greater Sudbury community of Val Thérèse. École Catholique Notre Place celebrated the unveiling of a new mural inspired by Indigenous teachings. The mural was created in collaboration with students and staff, the Wanapatei First Nation, and artist Jessica Summers. Let's head to Sault Ste. Marie now, and this video was sent to us by Bruce Lee. He captured the sounds of the Root River running through Wishart Park in the Soo. Great video there, Bruce. Thanks again. And Jeremy Chaput of Sudbury went to Michigan and snapped this picture of a 20 to 30-foot tall statue of Bumblebee from the Transformers. That's impressive, isn't it? Thanks so much for thinking of us, Jeremy. And if you have any pictures, videos, or events you'd like us to showcase, you can email them to us at communitycloseup@bellmedia.ca. And there's more news for the North coming up at 6. For now, continue watching as we hand things over to CTV National News.